Hey, community talk. It's your boy Sloan Griffin here again. I'm very excited for this interview today. Got a real good friend of mine's on. I know she's ready. I know she's ready for June 9th. She's ready to knock it out the park. But before I introduce who that is, because you don't know yet, do you? Oh, I forgot. You've seen it on the headline. But before I do that, let's talk some real talk here. Just to give you some updates. Um, COVID-19 testing site. So for my citizens up here in the northeastern Richland County area in Blythewood, come on out next week, June the 8th. That's Monday, and then Wednesday and Friday of that week from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Westwood High School. Come on out, get your free testing. My good friend, Mr. Kimbrell Garvin, representative for District 77, along with Senator John Scott for District 19. Great men, great brothers of mine. Looking forward to seeing them out there. I am going to film my test live. So to encourage each and every one of you to get out there and get tested for COVID-19. Very touching week. We had a very emotional, rough week since we last met on our community talk channel. We're going to talk about a little bit of that, and then in some future episodes, we're going to dive into some of the protesting and we'll have some real talk about some of those issues out there, and I'll talk to some very well-respected folks in our community. So we're going to talk a little bit about it later on this evening. So without further ado, the lady that you all see around town, especially in this northeast quarter up here, you know her, you have seen her, you've seen her signs around town. My good friend, my buddy, my pal, Miss Gretchen Barron. How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, friend.
Hey,
Boy, we got some sharp digs out here tonight.
Yes, we do. How you doing?
I'm loving it. I'm doing good. I can't wait for the testing. So I was thinking about it. I said, man, I probably should. I want to go get a test. I thought about the same thing, and I was like, I don't want to take away from somebody who might need it. So yeah,
Well,
I'm glad to hear you doing it.
hey, look, I'm gonna film mine. I'm gonna put it out there. So I tell you what, though, I'm gonna do the Sloan Griffin challenge. Go get your test. It's simple. Go get your test. It's like Nike.
If I do,
Just do it.
I can assure you that I will not be posting it live.
Come on, hey, look. Come on now.
I'll do it before and after.
Come on now.
I won't do it
Now
live.
look, just do it. Look, just do it. We got to be like Nike. Just do it.
We got to
But
do it.
but
We lead by example, right? Yeah.
there you go. But
Yeah.
honestly, we see the stats on COVID-19, and before we get into checking up on you and your campaign, we see the stats on COVID-19 and how it really affects our community. And I believe the numbers are like 40 something odd percent the last time I looked at it. African American, and then there's some Spanish numbers in there. But there's some high numbers in our areas, and with us dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, and things like that, really make it worse if you catch COVID-19. But what scares me about it, they don't have any symptoms. There's no symptoms whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I could be walking around here with it and spreading it, at least if I need to quarantine myself for 2 weeks, let me quarantine it and save somebody else's life. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, good point. And the thing is that 29203, one of the largest numbers of testing that they're tested positive, that's in District 7.
Yeah.
And not only that same zip code bears some of the higher numbers of health disparities, not in just our county, but in the state.
Yeah.
So, I'm so grateful to these testing sites so that
Yeah.
people can go get tested and, question mark, if you have a question mark about, hey, do I have it? Can I, people need to even have these tests to return back to work.
Yeah.
And, I understand they're not free. So, so if you go to your primary care physician, there's a charge, but to be able to
Yeah.
go to a site that's free, man, that's a great thing. And I'm grateful to the legislators and Senator Scott and
Yeah.
Representative Garvin for doing that. And I had a chance to talk to Representative Garvin just the other day. I called and checked on him
Yeah.
just to make sure he was doing well. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, kind of hit home once again for us. And so I want everybody to continue to stay safe. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's a good it's some reasons to get out there and jump into the community. But we got to be careful. We just
Yeah.
got to we got to be really careful. I've been telling my oldest son, especially because, when you got a teenager and they're trying to get out and hang out, and I'm like, now is not the time for you to hang out for a number of reasons.
No.
So it's not over yet, y'all. And we just got to still stay safe, wash our hands, wear our mask, do everything that we need to do so that it is, we get through this. We really get
Yep.
through it.
Yeah. And just to kind of, since we own that, I just finished out the Restore Blythewood Task Force meeting, and we talked with the SBA district director for the U.S. Part of the SBA, and I was reading some numbers to them, and I'll read it to you. Just in South Carolina today, there's 13,005 positive cases. And when you dive down into Richland County, it's 1,609. When we look at the Blythewood zip code 29016, it's 73. Okay, we're like 73. And one thing that I've been giving the task force is, let me show you the numbers around you.
Right.
Let me give you the numbers. So you think 73 and you're looking at the big geography of the zip code. I mean, 29016 is huge in geography. And I'm like, okay, but let me show you what's around you. And I start reading off, there's 5 zip codes that surround Blythewood. Out of those 5, it makes a total of 698 positive cases.
Wow.
That you in the middle of, you
and we interact with.
Thank you. All day long.
With Walmart, Kroger.
Yeah.
All those places.
Lowe's.
Oh my goodness. Everybody's at Lowe's now.
Yeah. So, that's just part of, let me give you that deeper look into it. So when you're planning your business aspects, this is where you at. With it. But one cool thing too, we start giving out free PPE up here. So you get a bag with 2 masks, 2 pair of gloves, and you can refill your personal bottles with hand sanitizer at the station there. So we gave out about 350 bags today on the first day. We use 4 gallons of hand sanitizer.
Now, where is that located? Where
so,
can people get that?
Yep. So for my viewers out there, if you didn't know, you can go to Doco Meadow Park. Go to the Town Hall Plaza right off of Lanford Road, 171 Lanford Road, and follow the road on through, and you'll see us out there with a table. Come get your bag, come get your hand sanitizer refill. So keep that in mind, everyone.
That's good information. Good information.
Yeah. But about you, ma'am. I said I told me and another candidate from District 2 was talking, and I said, gotta check on my buddy though. I seen your truck with the sign, and I said, look at her. She doing her thing. So proud of you, but we want to get you some updates. What's going on? What's going on in the campaign world leading up to the last day?
So we have, since the last time we were on, we probably had a couple of different lives. because, that's where we've been. We've been spending a lot of our time right here on social media, talking to you and talking to our district about things that are important to our district. So the last one that we hosted, the last listening session that we hosted, was how do we safely re-engage back now that restaurants are opening. Our governor has pretty much said, we're open, the state is open for business as usual. That was a very good discussion where we had a pastor, we had health professionals, business owners, on this call, on this live, and we're just talking about basic everyday challenges, especially for our Black and Brown communities, transitioning back to doing life as we know it for right now. Really, really successful. We had a lot of fun a couple of Saturdays ago. We went out to Killian and Farrell Road and did some corner waves, some sign waves. Honk for Team Barron. Honk for Team Barron. It was a lot of fun. We did have our truck out there because one of the things that we had to do was be a little creative.
Yes.
Had to be creative because we can't get out there and shake hands and kiss babies. And one of the constituents in the district, we met him when we were doing worshiping in the district prior to COVID, and he was like all in from day one. And he was like, he came up with all these ideas and we couldn't keep up with them fast enough. And so my husband reached back out to him and said, hey, I want to talk with you about some of those ideas. And one of the ideas was the trailer. And the trailer we got that trailer out there. And see, people don't know, Sloan. They don't know that this is not anything new, because you and I are from the upstate of South Carolina, and we've seen this before. So when he told me about it, I chuckled and I was like, oh, I'm about to go back to my roots. Because, I have embraced being, a little city girl right now, but I am just as Southern can be. And to have that trailer and we refurbished the trailer because, again, campaigning in COVID, the fundraising as we know it was a little different. So we stretched those dollars. We refurbished that trailer. And my youngest son and I, we painted it. And the whole time I'm painting, I'm thinking, I got me a trailer. Because when you're from Spartanburg, you want a trailer.
You want a trailer. You want that truck and
you want a trailer? You want a trailer so you can haul some stuff.
Yep.
But it's been a hit. And so look for the trailer, because during this upcoming weekend, that trailer is going to be moving. It's going to be moving throughout the district. We've done so many different things. The sign waving. We phone bank. We phone bank, and a lot of people, they say, "What's a phone bank?" We're the people that's calling you.
Yep. There you go.
I'm Gretchen Barron. I'm running for Richland County Council District 7. You can vote absentee.
There you go.
We're calling. We've been something else we did, not the text bank. We did the phone bank. I can't remember all this stuff. It's been so much. And when I tell you, I'm like on 10 right now, because tomorrow is official go time.
There you go.
It's get out to vote, baby. It's get out to vote. And even though even that's going to look a little different, with COVID and all, but, that's something that we still held true to, even though this wasn't a traditional campaign. We held true to this weekend being GOTV. And so with the activities that we'll have coming up this weekend, it's exciting now, because this is like, I had a meeting with my team before we came on, and I was just tickled, and that we were all talking, and I'm thinking, I'm not gonna cry here. I'm not gonna cry. But it's something when you set out to do something that was not for any personal gain, but it's more about the community.
Yep. Yeah.
Everything that we've done, we put in here. We have put in. I am not country, Derek Blackshire. I am Southern, and there is a difference. So So, but there's a difference when you put out in your heart to start to do something because you know it's the right thing to do and it's the thing that needs to be done because that's what our community needs.
Yep.
And then you see the labor of your work now just kind of coming together with people saying, hey, we support you, we're Team Barron, and these are people that you don't even know, but they bought
Yep.
into what you said.
Yep.
Man, that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah, I had to laugh at Derek about the trailer. Derek said that's country about the trailer, but well, we seen it in the upstate. So
Hey, that's what we
I
know.
look what? Look, we seen the trailer actually advertised the rodeo,
Oh,
the drag strip race. Look at
homecoming.
homecoming. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the do. I mean, that's what that trailer advertising. So,
It's
yeah,
cheap
long.
advertisement. Come on. And
Just still,
everybody up in the upstate, we got one because we either got a farm or we have a big old garden where it's something.
it's something.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying something to carry, it's something to haul because we haul.
So I know there's a lot of challenges out there, and you hit on some of it, with the challenges with COVID-19, but I honestly think you're handling that very well
Thank you.
in this world that's ever changing. But talk to us a little bit about the voting piece, the absentee. How hard has that been? Because that might be a new concept to younger folks. I think the older generation, they utilize that more than per se my age group
Mhm.
would have.
Yeah, and so with this whole COVID thing, and this was again something that we talked about early on. We talked about it early on. We brought in the Richland County Voter Registration and Election Commissioner's interim director, and when we saw that this was something that was going to happen, we had in our plan all along that we were going to have an absentee piece, but when we realized that COVID was here longer than what we anticipated, we started shifting gears. And the unfortunate thing is, and I'm not going to get on a soapbox here too much, but the unfortunate thing is that our county did not have a plan in place for this. So now it became more reactionary kind of thing. And so we had to work really hard to, once legislation was passed that anyone could vote absentee, they could use COVID-19 as their excuse. Of course, in the past, there was a set
Yep.
list of excuses that you had to have in
Yep.
order to vote absentee. We had spent a lot of time educating people and letting them know, hey, you can vote absentee, and you didn't have to wait. You didn't have to wait until to get your application, but you could still go to 2020 Hampton Street. We're still having conversations right now on June the 4th that they didn't know that they could vote in person absentee. That's been a big challenge. It's been a big challenge just educating people to know. And then now, again, here we go with reaction with our county council kind of being not even kind of being really reactionary, not having a plan in place.
Yep.
Now we have, of our 147, 48 precincts that we have in our county that we traditionally have, they cut them in half. And they cut them in half, and people still don't know that your polling precinct or your polling location could have changed. So in
Yeah.
District 7 specifically, we had 13 precincts. Now, with the change, we're down to 7.
Yeah.
How was this formally communicated? And I think that this should have been formally communicated from the head, from
Yep.
Richland County on down. And what I did was I just reached out to them and said, hey, I'd like a copy of that list because I want my district to know where they need to go vote. So what we did, we put that information out there. This week, I went to every new precinct
Yep.
that had a change, and I put together a video because I wanted people to be familiar with where they were going and what that change was. But COVID has really, it's created a challenge for the voting process, but I think that it had avoided or I had a little more stronger leadership. It would not have been as difficult, but that was an opportunity for us to lead now.
Yep.
So people can see that I'm just not running for office. I'm doing what I've been doing years before, bringing you the information so you'll know, so you won't have any surprises. So for everyone in District 7, they're pretty. If you want to know, who you're going to get for county council, and you followed me the last several months, I've shown you my leadership skills. So it's been, that COVID thing has been, one of those things where it's always, we had to stay on top of it. So as it grows, we had to, say, okay, here's another piece of information. Here's another piece of information, and just encouraging people to share it and to talk about it. So it does sound like, every time Gretchen opens up her mouth, she's talking about absentee or she's talking about this. Yeah, because I want people to not forget about it.
Yep. One thing I do remember from my own election was when they consolidated. So we have 3 precincts up here in my area here, and they consolidated to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I had no idea. I mean, it was like go time. It's like election day. So, I'm a freshman at this thing, and I'm like, okay, people like, I showed up at the school, and the schools, they're not voting. And I'm like, okay. So I went to the other 2, and I'm like, no signs of, I as a candidate, had no foreseen warning that they were going to 1. I planned for 3. I'm like, oh man. So then you end up running around trying to keep people at those locations so that if somebody does show up, you can at least say, hey, go over there, they at the rec center or blah, 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 and give some good, precise directions to where to go. Because what made me do that was people were getting frustrated. And I learned that from a lady that texted me, was like, hey, I came to vote. I can't vote. It's not at the school. I'm going home.
We don't want that.
You don't want that. So that was one person. If they text you, that they were for you. So that meant you lost 1 vote. And we all know how things are. Comes down to that vote. You need 1 vote. Can't be a half.
And we need that 1.
There you go. And
we need that 1.
Every single last one of them. So I know you have a busy schedule ahead of you. So, tell the folks out there what events you have coming up and where they can find you.
We have, as I mentioned earlier, we talked about keeping some traditional pieces of the campaign, even though this has not been a traditional campaign. And one of the pieces that we've decided to keep is we're having a GOTV rally tomorrow night right here on Facebook. We're going to have a rally. We're gathering all of our volunteers and some community members, and we're going to get on Facebook, and we're just going to encourage individuals to make sure that you get out to vote. You have all the information that you need. If you have any last minute questions of the campaign or of me, or even about your precinct or your location, we're going to be addressing those questions right there during the rally. So it is so important. It's so important that we get people out to vote. Local elections is where it all happens. So we're going to do that tomorrow night at 7:00. We got some great guests. I'm so excited that comedian Akintunde is going to be our host for the night. He's going to be our rally leader. So, we're going to have a good time and we're going to laugh. And my spiritual father, my pastor, Bishop Herbert Bailey, is going to join us, and he's gonna come and join us and talk with the community. Good friend of ours, former mayor Keith Bailey, former mayor of Blythewood, he's gonna join us and talk with us. And then Cynthia Watson, who is a South Carolina Democratic delegate, she's gonna share some information as well. So it's going to be a great night. We are excited about it. Our team is excited about it. And we just gonna, we're gonna rally, and then I'm gonna come on, and hopefully I'm gonna knock the speech out the park,
There you go.
and keep my emotions in check. Keep my emotions in check. So that's tomorrow. And
Yes.
then I will tell you this. Just look for us throughout the district throughout the weekend. You don't know where Team Barron's going to show up. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I'm going to leave a little something for the inquiring minds.
There you go.
But I will tell you on Monday from 4:30 to 5:30, you can meet me at 1215 Long Green Parkway, which is right there off of Killian, where the Rite Aid used to be. We're having the Lick, which is a local business, in District 7. They're going to be providing us with blazing ice, which is a shaved ice. They're going to be providing us with a special ice treat. So come chill with your candidate. I want you to come chill with the candidate. But how you get to chill with the candidate and get a blazing ice is that you have to bring your voter registration card. Hello, somebody. Go find it. Bring your voter registration card. And if you can prove you're in District 7, shave ice is on me. Shave ice is on me. So we're just, and I will tell you about that event. It's going to be social distancing, and I am not relaxing that approach at all. So I can't make anyone wear a mask, but we encourage you to wear a mask. We will be taking social distancing selfies and all of that. But this is our last time to really be able to touch our community prior to the election day. So join us during that time and stop by on your way home from work, if you're already returned back to work, and get an icy and let's just chat a little bit. But that's where, I won't give all the details. So go to my Facebook page at Team Barron 7 or Instagram or Twitter, and just put the alert on and wait for us to show up somewhere, because I promise you, Team Barron is going to be on the move. Ain't no stopping us now.
Hey, look.
We on the move.
There you go.
The groove.
I'm going to send you something tomorrow, okay? To help with, people showing up so that they feel comfortable. I believe your campaign manager is going to come up by the manor tomorrow. So I will make sure I send a care package so that you can have on hand some mask for your folks that will be showing up out there. And if you need anything else, you let me know.
Thank you so much.
I got your back. So what we're gonna do here right now, because everybody time is valuable, okay? Everybody. Right. So I got a question that's a hot topic. We're gonna talk about protests. We're gonna talk about, but I know that might take a while, and I got something for you. But since I got them right here, you told me something. You don't remember what you told me. You played basketball. You was this girl that could ball outrageous, talking about you could beat the best.
Tell the people. Get the people what they want.
Yeah. Look at
Get the people what they want.
But you know what? I'm gonna enter my fired up mode right now. Look at that bottom. Fired up, ready to go.
Been ready to go.
You've been ready to go. You sure about that? You sure about that? I got somebody for you.
Oh Lord.
You don't know who this is. We'll make you sweat tonight. We'll make you sweat. You don't know who gonna pop on the screen.
Yeah, you from the upstate too?
I got no other than Inman's finest, Mr. the mayor himself.
The mayor.
Cornelius, how you doing, brother?
My big brother from another mother. Yes, it is. I'm gonna be very respectful. Hello, Mayor Huff.
Hello, Gretchen.
Oh, thank you so much. What a pleasant surprise. So tell the people I did play basketball.
She did. She did a fantastic job playing basketball.
Family skills.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Just growing up together from as children. But Gretchen, I want you to know that we support you 110%. And I want the people to know that you mean exactly what you say. And I have never seen you do anything but support people, show love, and to do what you said you were always going to do. And I know that you're going to be excellent. And we support you from Emmons, South Carolina. Anything we could do, we're here for you. It just makes me proud. It just makes me real. The people out there, they don't even know, but they're going to know the type person. And we believe in you. We believe in your cause and we support you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. You're trying to make the water come today. People don't know, like we are on with history. We're on with history. So Mayor Huff and I literally grew up all my life, because he's older than me, all my life together, like family, like church, home. His mama did my hair, the whole nine. And we all grew up together. And now to know that he is the first African-American mayor of the town of Emmons, South Carolina. I mean, it's absolutely, this is great. I was so excited. Like when he was running for office the first time, I was trying to figure. I called everybody. I said, "How do I need to live stream WSPA?" I was live streaming WSPA because I was like, "We got to win.
You got to win.
We got to win."
Push the same drive to you because I know what you stand for, and I've watched you down through the years. Yes, I'm a little bit older. Always been successful, and every time you said you were going to do something, you did it. You came through, and that's what makes leadership right there. That's what makes leadership.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you I had to bring the best to you, right?
You did. I got nervous when you started talking about basketball, though. When you started talking about basketball, I said, let's see, he might find one of my classmates. And then I thought about it. I knew the two of y'all from EMS, and then I said, he might have my brother on here too. I was like, trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure it out, but this is like, it's just like having my brother on.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I love you both very much. And tell us what we need to do because we support you. Let the people know.
We need y'all to phone bank on this weekend. I need you to put together a phone bank. I got a link I can send you and everything.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna text you, send you some information. My campaign manager, I know he's watching.
Yeah. Hey, look, I tell you, I appreciate you coming on, Mr. Mayor. Me and this man, we go back when I first moved to Spartanburg. So we go back. So I told you, I can dig and find something now. I dig on you now and find something.
You're right with me.
Yes, sir. Hey, my brother, as always, it's a pleasure, sir. I know you busy, and I appreciate you coming on this evening, and me and you will be talking soon on some things, and I appreciate all you have done, because everything you have done has allowed me to follow some great footsteps, sir.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And one other thing, congratulations on retirement.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
When I talked to you the other day, and when I hung up the phone, I said, I forgot to tell my brother, congratulations, sir. Well done.
He ain't retired.
Yes, I love it.
He ain't retired.
Down in Columbia, we got you back.
Thank you, big brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Have a great night.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great treat.
Yeah. So, I told you, I had a fired up moment for you. What I
Yeah.
told you. So,
Yeah, that's fired up. That's right.
yeah,
Like, come on, come on, come on.
yeah,
Who want it?
yeah. There you
Who
go.
want
There
it?
you
50
go.
plus one is right here at
There you
Team
go.
Barron. 50 plus one right here.
Hey,
Tuesday.
right here. Right here.
Tuesday.
There you go. So,
Tuesday.
yeah, I appreciate him having the moment. And when I seen him jump on in the backstage, I said, let me bring him in here. I know he's been busy
Yeah.
and they got a lot of great stuff going on in Inman. So that's where you're from. You were talking about them trailers, talking
Yeah.
about the but hey,
Don't let the hills fool you.
yeah, there you go. There you go. So,
I got some boots. I got some boots and a cowboy hat.
hey, look, I forgot what you know about Hollywood up there.
So here's the funny thing. Funny thing. My oldest son, he was in preschool, and we get
Yes.
this permission slip. And he said, Mommy, we're going to the zoo. We're going to the zoo. And I said, oh, that's great. I'll go with you. My oldest son, first child. And I pulled the slip out. And it says Hollywood Zoo, Inman, South Carolina. I said, that's not where that's not where they're going. And so I asked the next day, I asked the teacher, I said, are you guys really going to Hollywood? She said, yeah, we go every year. It's great. You should go. You need to. I said, ma'am, I grew up with Hollywood. I know Hollywood Zoo. And to go there and I actually went there with both my sons.
Yes.
And to go there as an adult with my children, and my mother even came with one of my sons. It's a humbling experience to know that people came from Columbia, South Carolina, to little Inman, South Carolina, to see the animals roll in, just strolling. Hey, Hank saying Team Barron in Spartanburg,
There
phone
you go.
banking this weekend. See people scroll the animals scrolling, and we on this trailer, and the children are just going crazy. And I'm like, I grew up with this, and the children from the suburbs didn't have a clue what that was like, and to have that experience, and now they have something similar, that's a
Yep.
little closer to us. But yeah, Hollywood,
Yeah. Hollywood.
Hollywood.
But I tell you, so I do want to talk a little bit about this, and I just posted up from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for posting the address up there to the event. So one thing I do want to talk about, and I'll make sure I stroll that, is the protest. That's on the screen, and so both of us, we're leaders in our own prospective areas, and we witness all these different, officer involved shootings, and we see the situation balls up to where, well, we're both parents. I have to get used, and I got a 7-month-old son, and you have boys also, and your boys are out there in the world. They're out there hanging out with friends. You got one driving, right?
In a few weeks,
See
we
that?
will be. Yeah.
So you got a young man that's finna start driving. That means movie dates and all of this, just out and enjoying life. So we see these things, and I issued several statements over the weekend to the media. That no, Sloan Griffin, Councilman Griffin, don't condone violence or destruction of property. And regardless of color, when you start thinking about small business, and that's what we fight for. We you're gonna get in council. I got faith that you're gonna walk in council. I'm there, and we fight for the small business to survive. In COVID-19 world, I got people that's knocking at the door for information on SBA process, and they getting turned down, and what else is out there? What can you do? Do you know somebody? And that's why I had on the task force tonight, somebody that I knew in the higher position of SBA that can give you some correct information. But, we're, as Mayor Huff was on, EMS, fire, that's how we met in the same system. And, we love our law enforcement brothers and sisters, and we depended on them out there in that field to give us cover to try to save a life or give us that aid. But with every organization, we always have some bad apples. And those bad apples have been showing up way too much in the media. I was telling someone that, and looking at, Trayvon Martin, if you go back before Trayvon Martin, you weren't seeing all of this on the news. The Trayvon Martin, the one that really highlighted it and kind of made national.
Again.
Yeah. So it was already there. It was happening everywhere. But that's what really, starts sparking people's mind. Like, okay, we got a problem. Then you got the birth of Black Lives Matter, and you fast forward to today, this weekend. We witnessed right here in our home county, our town, protests. And, I give my hat off. I support any protest to foster change. But one thing I wrote in my both of my public statements is, what am I supposed to tell my 7-month-old son about America from a Black man's perspective? And I remember when he was born, and I sat there and I said, man, I gotta have a talk with him one day. And it's like, I love America. I wouldn't trade nothing for it. I think that we have great opportunities here, black, blue, green, pink, or purple, but there's still growth. I want to get your perspective because you're a mom. And I know my mom. I'm 33. Just so y'all know out there, I'm 33. I do have gray hair, but look, don't you laugh at me.
We all do in this age.
But even for my mom calls me my granddad. I love my poor granddad to death. 80 years old. My granddad is worse than my mom in the aspect. My granddad calls me 3 or 4 times a day. Are you okay? You all right? Just checking up. Just want to hear your voice. And my mom would do the same, and she done it around 5:30. She said, "Are you okay?" "Yes, ma'am. What's wrong?" "No, I'm just checking, just to make sure you're okay." So I know from a mom's perspective, you have that deep feeling, and I want to get your take on the protest here, and then how you feel on it with your boys.
It's one thing that is consistent. COVID might shut down businesses. COVID might cause us to have to stay home. But COVID does not change that I'm a mother of 2 African-American males. It doesn't change that. And no matter what happens, I'm always a mom. And the one thing that I that bothers me, and that I have to, quote unquote, have the talk with my children about, especially with my boys, about how to make sure that they maintain themselves, or how to carry themselves in public. Don't wear a hood on your head. Make sure your pants are pulled up. Respect authority, no matter what it looks like. All of those things you're having to have a conversation with. My youngest son is 8 years old, and I had to have the talk with him now, with this now after Mr. Floyd's death. I had to have that conversation with him because I wanted him to know he's got a big personality.
Yes,
he's got a big personality, and he's already clashed with some teachers. And I had to have a conversation, say, hey, don't stunt this, this personality. These are leadership traits. But for what we call leadership traits,
Yes.
That's a threat.
There you go.
That is a threat to people. And this is not new.
Yeah.
This is not new. This has been happening for 400 years. And so now is the time that now that we've got the spotlight on this, we need to start having healthy conversations.
Yep.
And this is not about that I'm running for election, but it is about that I'm running for election, because if you want to seek change, and we can march on Washington all day long, but where change happens is at the local level. And we need to have conversations. I don't have a problem with people protesting, because I want them to protest, and because that's our First Amendment right to be able to protest. I want that. But as they protest, I want to make sure that they have a safe environment, that they're still realizing that we are in a pandemic and they keep themselves safe. But what I also want us to be, I want to be real clear about this, that I'm a small business owner. And my heart went out to those business owners who are now having to clean up these businesses that they've saved all of this money for, to open and start these businesses. My heart went out to them. So even when we look at our city and our county being able to, when they're talking about clean up, who's getting this contract to clean up? And that within itself is another level of systemic racism, if you want to look at it, because having equal opportunity to be able to be at the table as a minority business owner. The last thing I'll say about these protests, I want us to, protest, get your point across, do it safely, do it peacefully. But those individuals who are rioting, I don't support that at all. And so what we have to do is that we've got to continue to support our law enforcement officers. There are some good law enforcement officers out there. We have our sheriff. We have, the city of Columbia and Richland County have worked very well together in putting and making sure that, if you come out here and you riot, then, we're going to take care of it. We're going to take, that's not here, as Sheriff Lott said, not here and not in our town, not in our city. So, I think that we need to continue to support those efforts and know that, yes, there are some cops that are out there, and they don't always make good decisions. But that doesn't reflect all cops. And that's the piece that we got to work with, that we've got to work on, is to ensure that we get to a healthy place where there is a level of trust between law enforcement officers and the general community, especially the African American community. But it doesn't change the fact on how I raise my children. Because it doesn't matter. Every day I'm a mama, and every day I'm a mama of 2 Black boys, and I want them to be safe. And I want my oldest to be able to go out and go to the movies and hang out and just hang out, being a Black boy from Blythewood, and knowing that he's not being tagged because he's Black. And so there's lots of work that needs to be done. And that's why we have to continue to have conversations. And let's not just talk, y'all. Let's talk and come up with solutions that we can implement. Not pie in the sky, but solutions that we can implement. So I've got that's near and dear to my heart, because the Barron boys, from my husband to my 2 boys, that's I eat, breathe, live that.
There you go. One thing I used to say to individuals, sometimes, if you think about it, how many jobs are open in law enforcement? There's a lot of jobs. If you look at it, go to Richland County website and see how many sheriff deputy jobs are open. You don't need, you just need to graduate high school. You got to have a clean record. City of Columbia, same way. Get with the police department, Forest Acre. I used to tell friends of mine, sometime to solve the problem, you need to go to work for them. because sometimes the number, from where me and you from, see, we can relate to one thing that's different from Columbia. You have a good spectrum of minorities in those positions already.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing against my upstate, I'm, forever have my love for home. But the spectrum looked at much different from Columbia as a minority aspect. I didn't see as many Black male police officers that looked like me, firemen that looked like me. So, if you keep your name clean, as the old folks said, keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean. Go work. Go get that job. Go step in the community. Go make that difference in the community. And that's where you probably could make the biggest change of them all, is going out there and helping teach another young Black man, hey, look, I'm doing it. You can be here too. And go from there. So that's always been one of my concepts. And that's probably what motivated me the most on being a fireman. A lot of it, I didn't see many like me in the upstate. But when I done what I did, they were great men. And look at Mayor Huff. He moved up to become a high rank in EMS. I think a division supervisor. So he was like he was over a whole zone of Spartanburg County EMS. And so we can do it. We can get these positions, and when we get them, let's do right. We can
be the
motivate.
change you want to see.
There you go, and lead the change. So when you get the lead spot, you got control of policy, and you can control that policy by having transparency. That when things do happen out of pocket, because we can't stop. You always gonna have a bad apple in your bunch when you buy it. So sometimes they do skate through. But, we do have some things to clean up on that. And I like the approach that's been going on here. Get out there to the front line with the protesters, hear them out, and for us in leadership, be willing to listen and pick your pen up let's go to work, because we in the position to get indoors that the ordinary person can't get in, to have those conversations. So I know for me, I don't mind, wherever it is, if it's here, back in Greenwood, Spartanburg, wherever, I don't mind having those conversations and doing what I can to help in that manner.
Well, the thing about it, Sloan, and I want to add this, is that, and it's something I've said from the beginning, we need to be accessible to people so that we can talk to people. And when we talk to people, we need to get their input so that when we go to county council or a town council, then we can make sure that those voices that were in the community go with us to our seat of position, our seat of leadership. And so we've got to keep those communication. And I'm a firm believer, if we're having conversations like this regularly, then we have a good pulse on what's going on in our community already.
There you go.
Already. So it doesn't catch you by surprise, because you're out there meeting with the HOAs, and you're out there inviting your constituents to have conversations with you from the beginning. So when something like this happens, then say, you know what? I do remember I was here and I had this. And it's not just having a conversation, but having a conversation, like you say. I went old school during COVID, and I still got my iPad, but I got a notebook, and we got this notebook because my campaign manager's been laughing at me, and that's fine. But when this campaign is over with, I'm gonna file this away because I have some valuable information that I've
Yes.
learned, things that we've done and brainstormed this in here. This is my second one. This is my second one of COVID. And when I'm having conversations, when we're phone banking, we're jotting this information down and we're taking that names, and the team is sending me emails and saying, hey, Gretchen, you need to reach out to this person because they have this concern. And
Yep.
so when you talk about having an active voice, whether it's on town council or county council, active voice means that you're actively doing and you're actively listening,
Yep.
so that there's a plan in place already. So you can pick up the phone and say, hey, this unfortunate situation just happened. We want to make sure that our people remain safe. Let's mobilize this group or call this person. And you're not fumbling. You're
There
not
you go.
reacting,
Yeah.
but you
There you-
already know because you've got things in place.
Yeah. You have that good rapport already with the
Absolutely.
community that, hey, look, we got your back. We're going to figure this thing out together, and we're going to have open transparency. I think, in my opinion, I think that's what the problem is that the information seems closed up, top secret, and it's like, go in the house. It's like all of them in the big house. Well, we ain't coming out. We ain't got to talk. But I think we're doing a great job to demand transparency, minus the violence in the protest. But and I think we're making some headway. That look, we need answers.
Yeah.
We need answers, and we need them now. Enough is
And
enough.
not just answers though. We need answers, and we need as we get answers, because we don't have questions per se of a why here
Yeah.
in South Carolina or in Columbia, and I know, but I think that we just need to be proactive and start to think, and to continue to have dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's just talk about it. Those young people that are gathering out there, they're not our future, they're our right now.
Yep. Yep.
So, if they're our right now, then we
Yep.
need to be, I was so glad that Mayor Benjamin pulled in a couple of those young leaders and organizers and having those conversations, because I'm sure there's a board for them somewhere. There's a
Yes, it is.
commission seat for them somewhere. They've got that kind of energy to organize and protest within minutes, within hours, and put things together. Let's get those young people up and moving and get active in our community.
Yep.
Let's just don't see them as troublemakers. Let's see, these are leaders.
Yes, they are.
These
Yep.
are leaders. Let's take that energy and see how we can foster it for the better of our community, for the better of our county.
Yep.
I was out there looking. I was like, I'm taking notes. Okay, what's his name? Okay, well, how? Because these are people that I want to surround myself with. As I get older, I'm grateful to have children. It keeps me connected and rooted and grounded with the latest and the greatest. But that millennial group,
Yeah.
I call them the Move Mountain group,
Yep.
because they don't know. You said no. Okay, fine. I'll go somewhere else and find out how I can get a yes.
Yep.
Those are those are change makers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're change makers, and those are people that let's don't just look at them. I'm not talking about people who riot. I'm talking about those people who are down there protesting and speaking wisdom and speaking knowledge.
Yeah. They're speaking and working for change. We don't want to tear up the city. We don't want to tear up our jobs, but we need
Right,
change in your
right.
system. So
Yeah.
I'm with you, my sister. I'm with you now. But I'll tell you, I know you got a lot of work to finish to get to that finish line.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
know. Look, I know you got your bottled waters. You ready to go? You got some.
I got
extra-
water. I'm trying some new vitamins and all
Yeah, I
kinds of
was just
stuff.
about to say, put the vitamin pants in the water and let's go.
Shake
There
it.
you go.
So I'm trying it, and it is. I think I don't know who I said. I said my eyes are burning. My eyes are burning. My eyes are burning because I'm tired. But
Yeah.
it's the best tired.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've been this happy or this excited since either being married to the love of my life or having my 2 boys. And you know why? It's up there. It's up there, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna take it. This is why I'm saying we're gonna take this seat back for the people. We've been absent. This seat has been it's been filled, but it's been vacant. And so it's time to have a presence with someone who is present on council. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. We already know what we've got.
Yeah.
And since we know what we have, you want something different. You want something new. You want something fresh that reveal. Team Barron. Team Barron. So I will remind the people who are watching, absentee voting, you can go tomorrow and vote 2020 at 2020 Hampton Street, 8:30 a.m. in the morning until 5 p.m. Absentee, you can also, there's this Saturday, they're going to be at 2020 Hampton Street, 8:30 to 1. You can do that. And COVID is your excuse, I'll tell you. And then the last time you can vote in person absentee will be on Monday from 8 to 5. Otherwise, go to your voting precincts on Tuesday. I would encourage you to go to my Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter, and look on there. We've got all the precinct changes so that you'll know exactly where you need to go because there are major differences. But y'all, we got to show up.
Yeah.
We got to show up. It's time for something new. It's time for a reset, and no other time than June 9th. No other time. And you said it earlier. I've been fired up. I've been ready to go.
There you go.
This ain't nothing new. We just changing how we do things. We're just changing the position. We're changing the position. So it's go time.
It's go.
It's go time.
Well, you know what? I am going to let you, because you remember last time I stole your platform, I stole your show. I had to go to your page and steal everything off of you. So you know what? I'm going to give you the last saying words to talk to your voters out there, your people in the district, and the folks out there that may know someone in your district.
Absolutely.
To get them out there to support you. So before I turn my show over to you, I'm looking for the keys. But look, I know you got it. I'm ready to see you pass across that thresh mark on the 9th. I am planning to show up at your watch party. I did let your campaign manager know that. So anything that I can do for you, please feel free to let me know.
Thank you.
You know how to reach out to me. So I am turning the show over to you, young lady. Be safe. Much love to you and your family.
Likewise.
And we'll see you on June the 9th. All right, community talk family. I am out of here tonight. So get out, vote. No matter where you're at in the state of South Carolina, get out and vote. This voting year is very important. Very, very important. Get out, support the candidate that you feel in your heart will make the change. For my folks here in Richland County, you got a lot of races. This young lady right here, she got your back. She's going to work hard for you. She's endorsed by me, Sloan Griffin. So I'm going to publicly endorse you, ma'am. You have my endorsement, my stamp, seal of approval. You got it from me. Let me know what I can do. So community talk family, it's been my pleasure tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Gretchen Barron. Be safe out there. Be smart. Be safe. Be smart. Keep God number one in your life. He'll show you some things that your heart and mind could never dream of. God bless each and every one of you. Good night. See you, ma'am. Show's yours.
Thank you, Sloan. This has been a great evening to come on and to share with you all. And I will tell you that I said it earlier. It's time for Richland County, specifically District 7, to have a reset. No more of the same thing, same thing. It's time to do something different. Repeating it again. We need someone who is present, representing us. We need them present. We need them active. We want them present at 2020 Hampton Street when they go vote and when they meet. And we want them present in our community. And I'm your candidate, Gretchen Barron. I'm running for Richland County Council. Over the past few months, you've seen over and over how we were here for you now. And just like we're here for you now, we're going to be that way once we're elected. So I want to be real sure that you guys know that I'm committing myself to serve to you. I am committing myself to be available to you. It is time for transparency, accountability, and accessibility. Accessibility means that if you call, I'm going to answer. Accessibility means that if there is an issue, I'm going to come and I'm going to see what that issue is and see how we together can resolve it. We see it now on the news where there are protests and there are riots, but let's talk about coming together as a community now before things even get started. Because if we're together now, when things happen, we'll be together then. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because I've talked to you. This is nothing new. We've been engaged in this conversation over the past few months, and now it's time for you to go vote. Gretchen Barron for Richland County Council District 7. I'm depending on you to make sure that our seat is flipped, and it's flipped for the people, and it's represented by the people. And it is someone who is there and who is here to serve you. Thank you so much, Sloan. And for all of you, I look forward to seeing you when you chill with the candidate on Monday afternoon. Have a great evening, everyone.